Hello everyone. For my professional development topic, I chose the topic of questioning, and it's just questioning, but the different workshops are, here, I'll go over the titles with you. So session 1 or workshop 1, questioning and critical thinking. Then we have questioning techniques, self-questioning methods for students with learning disabilities, question strategies for the high school class, and how to teach self-questioning to young readers. Okay, so starting with session 1 with questioning and critical thinking. For this session, basically, we'll just be going over the benefits of questioning, like why bring it into the classroom, why is it important, and the benefits are based off of research is deeper engagement with text, promotion of greater comprehension, and increased motivation. So whenever the teacher is posing questions throughout oral reading, or the research didn't even specify it was in an English class or reading, this is in all subjects, but whenever the teacher is posing questions throughout instruction, that keeps students engaged. It keeps them motivated because there's a question at any point and they may have the answer to it, and just keeps them thinking. So it's a motivational tool, it's a comprehension tool, and just engagement. So that is what we'd be going over in questioning and critical thinking, just the benefits and how questioning increases critical thinking. Yep, and that's for session 1. So the objective is to examine the effects of questioning on critical thinking skills. The goal is for session participants to feel informed on the effects of questioning on students and motivated to incorporate questioning into all aspects of classroom instruction. And so this session is going to be a slideshow and just asking teachers what they think or how they think they can use questioning during oral reading and other class lessons, and ask them to write from the list of benefits, ask them to write what they feel that they need or want to see more of in their classroom. So if the motivational aspect really stuck out to them, they can write, my students have a lack of, or seem to have a lack of motivation in the classroom, and so that is one of the benefits that that's important to me and that I would like to see in my classroom. Okay, moving on to session 2, questioning techniques. So for this, this session is just, going over exactly what it sounds like, the different techniques that you could use to teach questioning to students. So the objective is to go over different types of questioning that can be utilized in the classroom. The goal is for session participants to leave feeling confident about their ability to use questioning techniques in the classroom. So this session is going to be very interactive because obviously based off of the research, one of the huge techniques into teaching questioning is modeling it for students. And so in this session, the presenter, whoever that is, will be modeling how to do that. And so the session is going to start off, there will be a slide up, hasn't started yet, and the presenter will ask, what do you guys think we're going to be talking about in this session? And, obviously people will hopefully would answer, and just asking them, so why do you think this? What clues did you use? And so this is just a good way to open up the session, because this is something a teacher can do in the classroom, like, class, what do you think we're going to be learning today? And students will shout out an answer, and it's like, why do you think this? Oh, because we learned this and this yesterday. And so just different ways that questioning could be part of everyday instruction with teachers and students. And so that's it. The session's going to start out like that, and the session will continue with more models of how questioning is not only used when reading text, but integrated throughout the whole class time. I believe I just said that. Questions like what students expect the lesson will be on today based on the lesson from the previous day, and also what experience they have with the topic, disagreements, and etc. And so asking students how they feel about this topic. Do they agree? Do they disagree? And just getting interaction with whatever is going on in the classroom in that way by asking questions. And so just modeling this is a way to teach it. Okay, going on to, whoa, what happened there? Session 3 is self-questioning methods for students with learning disabilities. So objective is to discuss the different questioning methods for middle schoolers with learning disabilities. Of course, this could be used in just middle school as well, but this article was specifically talking about methods for students with learning disabilities. However, I found that they could probably be helpful in any classroom as well. So the goal of this session is for teachers to create their own rough draft questionnaire guide that they can use in their middle school classrooms. Presentation. So the session begins with a presentation of self-questioning. And I read that wrong. Presentation. Wow. So the session begins. Presentation of self-questioning begins with case study. So it starts with a case study. And this case study is gone over in this session. And so teachers are they're going to be asked to come up with some type of intervention and write it down. And then at the end, the whole group would go over the case study and what the possible intervention is, or what the possible intervention is, because I'm sure there would be more than one good answer. And this will be followed by a video presentation of a middle school class using self-questioning methods with students. And so, this is just a very interactive, especially with the case study and them having to work on it, and then the video after. And just posing the question to teachers, how often do they ask their students to ask questions? Just getting them to think, these sessions that I would want them to build off of each other. And so in our first one, we learned about all the benefits. And so in this session, just asking questions like, if kids are naturally curious, this is based off of research, by the way. If kids are naturally curious, why isn't there a designated time for questions on learning material? And the specific research, who is that from? Let me get the specific name here. I'll let that load. But just asking questions like who, what, where, when, why, how. Those are just the most basic forms of questions, and this is something that is used with students with learning disabilities, specifically in this Teaching Middle School Students with Learning Disabilities by, let me see who this is by. Sorry, I should have this ready already. By Laurice M. Joseph and Kelsey M. Ross. So they have a visual here that I would be something as a presenter that I would have in my PowerPoint. So it's a visual. It's basically a sheet of paper that you would give students, and it says read the passage. Stop reading when you come to a dot. So there's a dot on the page, and then it says create a question to ask yourself based on what you read. And so there's space for 6 questions, and so the students would ask 6 questions based off of the text they wrote, and then they would answer those same questions. And so having students pose and answer their own questions based off of the text specifically shows them how to interact with the text and how the answer is in the text. And it's just a way, to get students to use their imagination, their critical thinking, and learn themselves that this is a way I can question myself while reading, and the answer is within the answer could be within the text rather. I hope that makes sense. Next, so we have session 4, question strategies for the high school class. So the objective is to discuss the questioning strategies that can be used in the high school classroom, as well as strategies students can use independently. As early as middle I mean, elementary, honestly, like you want to start having students know that questioning strategies are things they could use independently. At the high school level, though, of course, we would really be pushing this. And so, yeah, that's just a stated goal here. But honestly, in all grade levels, it would be to model self-questioning and have students, the goal is for students to do that independently as well. So that's all grade levels. Back to session 4. The goal of the session is for teachers to know how to model the different levels of questioning for students. And this session begins with a brochure that covers the 7 levels of questioning based off of the research by Hassan Sukher and Sever Kumar. And it breaks down questioning into 7 levels. They are, let me see here, knowledge questions, comprehension questions, application questions, inference questions, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. And so it gives different examples of questions that would fall within this category, or what each category is basically asking for. And so for knowledge, for example, the definition of knowledge questions are eliciting factual answers, testing recall and recognition of information. Comprehension is interpreting and extrapolating. Application, applying the information heard or read to new situations. Inference, forming conclusions that are not directly stated in the instructional material. Analysis, breaking down into parts, relating parts to the whole. Synthesis, combining elements into a new pattern. Evaluation, making judgment of good, bad, right, wrong according to some set of criteria and stating why. And so it gives examples of questions as well. I won't go into that. And then we end with session 5. References. Session 5, how to teach self-questioning to young readers. And so this is, again, building on top of each other. This is just going to go back to the basics of having questioning be something that you do throughout the whole lesson. So it's not just something, okay, we're doing our oral reading now, it's time to ask questions, but throughout the whole class day, not just even lesson, the whole class day, like, boys and girls, what do you think we're going to be talking about today? Why do you think I have this picture on the wall? Why do you think you have this item on your desk? Things like that. And so just having a place where you keep that curiosity that children naturally have, you keep that going within the classroom. That's a way to teach self-questioning to young readers, like by modeling it in everyday, in the everyday discussion within the classroom. Or yeah, so those are the sessions. I have my evaluation questions at the bottom here. They're going to be the same for all the sessions. And that's pretty much it. Hope I did not run out of time. Hope that was helpful. Thank you for listening. I can't get out. Oh, this is awkward. I hope there's a way I can cut this. Otherwise, you can please stop listening now. Just go ahead and cut that. I shouldn't have made it.